Oh hey everyone, welcome back to DIY Cosplay Costumes, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own Rick Grimes Sherif outfit from the Walking Dead TV show. So let's get started. So the first step in making this costume is actually finding out which version of Rick Grimes we're going to make the costume of, because it changes for every season. So let's go look up some images. Okay, so to find your reference, usually you just have to go on Google Images and type in your character's name, in this case, Rick Grimes. Okay, so instantly you're flooded with a bunch of Rick Grimes photos. Now, we gotta find out which version of Rick Grimes we're gonna make. So there's a bunch of them from different seasons. We're gonna do the TV show. I forgot to mention that's kind of a given for this, because I mean, the TV show's a lot more popular than the comics. But yeah, and looks like, I think there's this Sheriff version, that's the classic season 1 version, and that hat is pretty iconic now. It's got kind of a beige shirt and everything, which we'll come to later, because this version also has kind of a beige shirt. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with just the classic Sheriff Rick Grimes version, and instantly we already have a nice photo of him, so yeah, let's do this. Okay, so now that we have the version / costume for we're gonna make for Rick Grimes, the season 1 Sheriff outfit, I went shopping. Picked up a few things. First off, this tan shirt. Pretty nice. It was, let's see here, $5.95, so about $6. But I should say now, I went shopping on the 4th of July, and at my local thrift store on the 4th of July, all clothes were half off. Yes! So everything I'm buying is half off. So this $6 shirt is now $3, and these pants. So these are some brown pants that I found as well. They don't exactly fit, but I couldn't really find any brown pants. These are, can't even read that, so I don't know. They're probably a couple bucks, you know? So there's our base clothing right there. Next, you've got the piece de resistance, his hat. So this sheriff hat, you could look at a store for something like this. They kind of range, because you could get a really, professional one. But this thing, it's not made out of leather. This is made out of foam. And you could look at a dollar store for something like this. I personally already had this hat. This inspired me to make either a Rick Grimes or an Indiana Jones costume, which could go either way right now. But yeah, so we are gonna do some modifying to this, and it's kind of an old hat. It's got some gray seen through from the gray foam under there, but I kind of like that. That'll be in the back anyway, but I kind of like that because the hat goes through a lot in the show, because it's still around in like season 6. So yeah, that's it for the hat. And now the very last thing, not exactly a costume, more of a prop, but that's okay. I got this gun. So it's a pistol. I don't know which kind, because I don't know my types of guns. I think his is a .44 Magnum, but yeah, I don't know. I found this actually at my house. You could look at a dollar store for something like this. It's got an orange tip. It's fake, but yeah, looks kind of similar to his. Yeah, you could kind of find. Whoops, and I just dropped it. Yep. Okay, you could kind of find a gun, because they sell them in a lot of orange or green colors, and then spray painted silver. I haven't found one that's silver and brown there, still an orange tip. But yeah, so now let's move on. Okay, so I just tried everything on here, and we're about a few minutes into this video, and we've already got the entire costume. So I guess that's it. We're done. We'll wrap it up. Okay, hope you know I was just kidding. We have a long way to go with this costume still. It's about the right colors now, but now we gotta get really specific with the details here. Oh, and see what I mean? These pants are real baggy. Oh yeah, we making Rick Grimes or MC Hammer up in here? Okay, so I'm just gonna have to live with these pants, but as far as this shirt goes, these sleeves are actually long sleeve. and his Sheriff Outfit shirt is short sleeve. You could be making another costume from Rick Grimes, which has a tan shirt as well. And actually, you pretty much only need this. He has a tan shirt, a couple pockets, and long sleeve tan. It's a long sleeve tan shirt, but then he rolls up the sleeves, like I am currently doing. Because I always roll the sleeves. But yeah, this is gonna be short sleeve shirt. So we're gonna have to cut off the second half of the sleeve here. So let's go do that. So we got our shirt taken off and laid out here, and you can see the sleeves now nice and long. I'm gonna flatten this one out here, and it cuts off a little shorter than the elbow. There are actually some pretty short sleeves, but just my amazing measuring skills. This is how I'm gonna do it. Yep, it's homemade. Deal with it. Where's my shirt? There, it's behind my back. Cosplay. Glamorous cosplay life. Okay. So, a little above the elbow. About there? I was about to eyeball it to about there anyway. So, yeah, so about here, we're gonna cut it off. Then we have the line marked here. We're just gonna use our trusty scissors and cut this. I'm gonna just try to cut a little slit in the side going there, but then it makes kind of a hole because I'm cutting through 2 layers. So I'm gonna just then put my scissors under 1 layer, and yeah, that's a lot easier to cut. Yeah. These scissors are pretty dull anyway, but yeah. Okay, now other side. Our nice short sleeve shirt, but I'm going to teach you a pretty simple no-sew hemming technique using our favorite hot glue. Okay, so first thing you want to do is flip your shirt inside out. So these sleeves here, just like that. And this line across here looks really bad, like jagged cuts, which I guess if you're making some kind of ripped jungle thing, that could be kind of cool, but we want to make it look nice and uniform, like it's supposed to be short sleeve. So what I'm going to do, take our hot glue gun here, I might just cut it so I don't have to do so much. Now I'll just show you a little sample right now, then we'll do the rest. So I wouldn't go more than maybe a centimeter max, and then we're going to hot glue. You could even use a piece of cardboard, press it down so you don't burn your fingers. But yeah, I like that. And now we gotta do the whole sleeve and the other sleeve. But then I'll flip it over and you'll see how cool it looks. Our less than beautiful seam on that side, but then when we flip it over, it's got a nice flat line, and it just doesn't look like jagged scissor cuts anymore. So that's a technique there, and now let's move on. Okay, so yeah, it definitely looks short sleeve now, and it looks like it could be normally like bought short sleeve, not like I cut it. So next thing we're gonna do is actually spray paint. Now you might be wondering, you're gonna spray paint this, it's already pretty much the perfect tan color. Well, I'm not gonna spray paint the entire thing to make it a different color, but I'll explain the rest when I get outside. So let's go. Okay, so we're outside now. This is my good old backyard, and we're getting ready to spray paint this shirt. But you might be wondering what exactly I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna be spray painting the entire thing a solid color. I'm gonna be using some different colors to kind of make it look like it's dirty, and some browns, some blacks, you know, to make it look like it's dirty. So let's go do that. Okay, first we have some flat black spray paint. This I already had, but it actually goes for 99 cents. Pretty cool. Okay, so I'm just gonna lightly spray in some different areas to kind of give that effect. See, already immediately shows some nice shadowing or something on there, and that is just good enough, so it doesn't totally change what the color of the jacket is entirely, but just a little bit so that it shows that little highlights. Now we have some gray primer. I already had this, but it usually goes for about $4. And now same thing with the gray. It's kind of watery, so it's just spraying in a few places. Next I have some light brown spray paint. It's left over from my green jacket, but I already had this, and usually about $4. Next up we have some green spray paint. Again, I already had this, but it usually goes for about $4. Using the green to kind of look a little bit like some grass, maybe rolling around in some grass, barrel rolling from zombies. So yeah, just a tiniest bit will do it. And last but not least, we have some red spray paint. Bet you can guess where I got this, and bet you can guess how much it costs. Red can here, I like because it's not exactly a color you'd find in nature, but it could be blood, you know, because he does have blood a lot. Actually, a lot of characters do have blood on him a lot. So I'm going a little bit heavy on the red. Plus, this is about the newest of these cans. Okay, so I just got the shirt back, and man, it's just the little faint detailing on there with spray paint goes a really long way in this case. You can, honestly, I don't even know if it's picking it up on camera, but it's some little brown in some areas, little dirt, you know, a little black some areas, maybe some dirt or shadowing or whatever. Though my personal favorite is at the bottom here. I went really like way too heavy with some red, and man, that looks cool. So yeah, this could simultaneously be the most expensive or the least expensive of your build, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so I used about $21 worth of spray paint making this. However, I spent a grand whopping total of $0.00 on spray paint making this. Now, you might be wondering, how is that? I had every single one of those cans of spray paint left over. So, if you obviously don't have those cans of spray paint, you could spend up to $21, which is outrageous just on the shirt, considering it doesn't make that extreme of a difference. So, honestly, I say the only colors you really need are some flat black, which you should already have. I mean, obviously, you need some black spray paint, and that goes for 99 cents. Pretty cool. And then the main of the colors that I think really is needed is the red. The blood detailing definitely goes a long way with this costume here, because again, it's in the zombie apocalypse. It can't be one all uniform color. That doesn't work. So definitely the blood detailing and some of the black for like a dirt. You could use the brown and the green, but that's kind of just because I had them. I wouldn't honestly use them if I didn't have them. So yeah, I say use the colors you already have, and yeah. So we're almost done with the shirt here. Spray painting's done, don't worry. But it's got a few brown details, like a couple of brown things on his shoulder, and the front of the pockets on him are brown. So I'm like, I don't want to mask off and then spray paint them with brown. It just seems like too much work really for the small detail. But I came up with a better solution, and that's using some of this brown duct tape. I just got this, but didn't really check how much it costs. How much could duct tape cost, really? A few dollars maybe for a whole roll of it. So we're going to use a little bit of this today, and I'll show you what. Okay, so the brown details on them, it's gonna only be 4 of them, which is the top of the pocket here, just the top flap, and that is gonna be covered in brown, and it's gonna be the same way on the other side of the pocket. And then this last detail that was actually unintentional, it has these kind of shouldery flaps there, which are not on all shirts, but they're on his sheriff shirt, and I didn't actually look for that when I bought this. I didn't also look for pockets or anything. This is all unintentional, but awesomeness, so you should look for that when you buy yours. But I didn't. I'm just really lucky. So now let's cut those out and put them on there. Okay, so all done with the brown duct tape detailing on there, and honestly, I think these little accents really make it pop. Definitely now looks a lot more like the sheriff uniform that I recognize from the show. I think, honestly, these are the most kind of key details to the costume that are the recognizable to the show, of course, along with the hat, which is gonna be the main part. So let's do that. So now we're gonna work on the hat. So for his hat here, I got a few photos here, and it's a brown hat, which is pretty much the same thing here, but it's got some gold detailing. I'm gonna have to make a star there. It's got 6 points that I can cut out of some maybe cardboard or some craft foam, I don't know yet. And then it's got some gold roping going across there, which I will spray paint some rope or something with my gold spray paint. So let's get working on that. And done. So I finished it, and what I ended up doing was tracing a circle onto a piece of cardboard, of course, and then I made a triangle template out of another piece, and then kind of traced that in 7 points on the circle, and to make this, I think it looks pretty good. It's not exactly even, but I'll find the best triangles and make them the top ones and bottom ones that look the best. So it's pretty nice. And, you know, it's a 7-pointed star on a brown hat. It's gonna be gold. It's the sheriff hat. So what? So, we can paint this now, but I'm actually gonna hold off on doing that until I do the rope detail. So, let's do that. Okay, so now it's time to work on the gold rope that's going around the base of his hat. So, funny story, actually. I was asking my dad, hey, Dad, you got any rope lying around? And he said, oh, I might. Let me check. So he opens the cabinet, and like 5 seconds later, tosses me this. So this is some rope twine here. Pretty nice. And so that's pretty nice. But then he's like, oh, do you want that? Because I got more. So then he goes downstairs, brings out this mess of some more plasticky rope. And then I'm like, okay, that's great. But on top of that, I found 2 more materials in my DIY homemade junk box, which are some bungee cord kind of jump rope stuff. And lastly, not any rope or stuff like that. It's actually some tubing. This is some clear-ish tubing. It's super cheap. You can get it at any hardware store pretty much. And so now I gotta figure out which of these to turn into his gold tubing. Okay, so I've narrowed it down to either the clearish white tubing here or this yellow plasticky rope. Don't know which one right now, but I think I'll measure them around the hat, cut them, and then spray paint them both. In the end, I'll think of which one I like better. Okay, so actually I just measured them, but the yellow rope is out, and I'm gonna go with this actually plastic tubing around there. It bends nice and easily, And his is not really more of a rope, it's actually more of a tubing. So that'll be great. Measure that and cut that around there, and then we can spray paint in gold. Okay, so these are be hot glued into place after they're spray painted, but if you press them down there pretty nicely, and then these two on there, of course, I think it looks pretty good. So the last thing to do is these end caps, which there appears to be kind of three. There's two at the end of these, and then one in the middle that kind of holds everything into place. So for the two at the end of these, I'm thinking I'm going to use some erasers actually. Now these are your just pencil erasers. I'm going to think, yeah, I'll put the ugly side that I cut in, and so they look pretty nice. And now to hold everything into place, that last one, I think I'm just going to wrap it in some duct tape to give it a three-dimensional look, and then spray paint everything gold. So let's do that. Hey guys, I got a last minute change right here for the star that's in the center of the hat. Just before we start spray painting, I'm going to end up changing it. Rather than it being cardboard, I don't really like that as much. So I think it's too thick, so I'm going to trace it onto a sheet of craft foam, and then we can go. Okay, so I should probably stop making last minute changes and just get the spray painting, but so what, I'm gonna do one more, again involving my craft foam. So this is just a scrap piece from making that star, but this time I'm gonna use it for the tubing details, where I originally said I was gonna use either some gold duct tape or duct tape painted gold. I'm gonna instead use this scrap piece of craft foam and then wrap it around the tubing, and that'll, I think, look better. So yeah. Okay, so we're outside at the paint station again, and now I'm gonna use one more bottle of spray paint. Yes, I know, this is a leftover bottle of metallic gold. So I love metallic gold, like I love metallic silver. I love all metallic colors, and I already had this left over, like all my spray paint, but it could be $4, maybe it's a metallic-y, so it could be maybe 5 or something, I don't know, but yeah, let's spray these. Okay, so all of my details are nice and spray painted gold. I love how they look. Everything looks better in gold. But now we're ready to attach them to the hat, except this star. I'm gonna put that aside and we'll get to that later, but everything else, let's attach it. Okay, so I just attached everything to the hat using hot glue. Remember, those two longer rings are right on top of each other on the main body of the hat, and then the two little ropes with tassels on the end are in front of those, and then wrap that last piece of craft foam around there, and that's it. Okay, that's Rick's hat right there. Except for the last detail, the star. There you go, King County Sheriff. You know, before making this costume, I didn't actually know what it said on the star, and now I realize why. Because it's such tiny print. Doing that with a giant thick Sharpie, not easy. Yeah, I have thin Sharpies, thin black Sharpies. I have like 3 of them. Don't know where they are right now, and don't really want to go search for them. So yeah, I've done enough searching. So now let's attach this to the hat. Not much more to it. That's Rick Grimes' hat. Hey guys, who am I? Okay, so honestly, awesome costume so far. But one last thing you could do to the hat, you could use a heat gun, because this is just foam, and kind of try to bend the sides to look a little bit more like that rather than this, because they're kind of curled up on mine. And don't really want to do that, because honestly, I think it looks good enough right now. It's Rick Grimes. It's a brown hat with the gold detailing and the sheriff star. I mean, this is Rick Grimes right here, this whole outfit. Well, let's move on. The pants. I'm not going to take this off. So the next thing here are these pants. As you know, these are my famous baggy pants, but they are too big for me. But I'm not worried about really cutting them to cutting the bottom of the pants legs to make them shorter, because I don't really mind. I'll just have to live with that. You could do the same exact technique that we used here, that no-sew hemming technique, and then just cut them with your normal scissors. And I mean, it's shorter, nice pants. Or you could also buy pants that fit you. Yeah, but I didn't find any that were brown and nice. I honestly don't know if these pants are like sweatpants or jeans. It's a weird material. So these are kind of sweatpantsy jeans. Perfect. So yeah, and they don't have loops for a belt to go through. But we will end up using a black belt. That'll just have to kind of sit there, I guess. But yeah, the thing he does have on his pants are some white lines going down the side of his pants. Now you could easily use some white tape, maybe a fabric tape that would be good in white. Sides are just 2 strips, no biggie. But I don't want to do that right now because I don't have any white fabric tape. So I think I'm just gonna mask it off and spray paint them white. So yeah. Okay, so I know I just said I was gonna go paint the sides white, but it turns out I ran out of daylight like 6 hours ago. Well, yeah, I'm in the basement. There's no windows. Yeah, but I gotta go to bed now. So I'll see all you guys in the morning. Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a bright and early 5 a.m. Just kidding. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when I wake up on Sundays. Anyway, let's get working on the rest of this costume. Okay, so just did a layer of painting on it with the white. It looks okay, very homemade. I might need to do some more coats. Kind of should have done more layers of masking tape because it is getting all the way over here. Because it's just such a thin line. But you know, it looks homemade. It's on the side. What does it really matter? I'm gonna have to live with it. I just really wanted the white lines to spice up some detail on the pants, because other than this, there's nothing to do on the pants. So, yeah, I guess, yeah, not much more to that. Okay, so the painting the white line on the brown pants did not work out okay. So my new idea is to get a new pair of brown pants, and then I think I'm going to use some white duct tape and put that line across there. It'll just look nicer. So that's my new plan. Okay, so it luckily worked out that we didn't have to go back to the thrift store to get another pair of brown pants. I happen to have this pair of brown pants in like the very back of my closet. I think I've worn them like once in my life, but that's okay. They're to a good cause now, so I always have them in my spare. They're not exactly the right kind of pants that he has, because the ones I had before were more like sweatpants, and these are corduroys. So either way, I don't think painting would be able to work on this. So straight to the duct tape idea. Let's head to the craft store. Isn't this stuff just amazing? This is the best. Like, I didn't know I wanted rail duct tape, but now I want rail duct tape. Tie-dye duct tape? Amazing. You could also be wrapping stuff in gold duct tape instead of gold spray paint for this. Okay, this is the best aisle ever. We got duct tape on one side, flip it over, and we got all the spray paint. Yeah, okay, this is the best. Yup. I could just live in here. This is cosplayer's dream. I'm sorry, all the other kinds of rainbow duct tape. I only need white. That's all I'm getting. I gotta leave it all behind. Okay, so I'm back now, and well, it kind of took me a while because I went to the store, got my duct tape, then my dad bought some stuff, then we went to get lunch and ice cream, and so yeah, it's been a while, but now I'm gonna get working on the rest of this costume. Let's finish this. So, got my white duct tape here, got my brown pants here. Let's make some lines. Okay, so these look pretty cool. Did some cure them with a little bit of hot glue because they're coming off, but yeah, and that's it for the pants. Haha, silly me, forgetting there's more details on the shirts. Okay, so we're gonna do those out of good old craft foam, and then spray paint them with our good old spray paint, and then attach them to the shirt with our good old hot glue. So let's get working on that. Okay, so his details on a shirt are another of them, and a star. So now take these all outside, paint them gold. It's the last thing to spray paint. Okay, so hey, it's my shadow. Hello. Anyway, I'm done spray painting on these three, and actually that's the last bit of spray paint on the costume, so that's good. But I learned this new technique, and that's actually rather than last time where I had to hold everything so that everything wouldn't fly around by the blast from the spray paint can, because I do have to get the sides, you notice. And when I did that, it was, when I was doing that, everything was flying around, and like, especially the erasers, you know, you can't keep them in one spot. So my new technique was I just scotch taped them to actually the cardboard, so that way I can get the sides and everything without them flying everywhere. And I'm like hot gluing them to the cardboard, and it's not permanently attached, but they can come off because it's just scotch tape. So after these are dry, I'll take these and go downstairs, and we can do that little bit, last bit of detail, and then hot glue them to the shirt. So I just finished doing these little brown details out of duct tape. I actually just cut a piece of duct tape for the little irregular shoulder ones and then put that right there. It should be a little smaller, so we'll have the gold outlining on the side, and I think that looks really nice. And now the next thing I'm going to do is just using some masking tape. I'm actually going to make like a 7-pointed star template so that then I can spray paint gold again, and then we'll have just a little 7-pointed star on there for the last bit of detail. Okay, so not bad. Now we got these three, so let's hot glue them to the shirt. Okay, so that's it for the shirt. Now, all three of them are hot glued, the one in the chest area and then the two on the shoulders. Looks really nice. The last finishing touch I did was actually using a Sharpie. I just colored in those little buttons that are surrounded by the brown duct tape black, because I noticed only those buttons are actually black. So yeah, this is done. Actually, the last few finishing touches are a black belt and a white t-shirt, because I noticed he does have the top button undone of his tan shirt, and you can see kind of a white t-shirt poking through. So that's it. Let's put this costume together. Okay, that's my homemade DIY The Walking Dead Rick Grimes Sheriff costume. That's a mouthful. But making the costume cost me about $20, not including spray paint, of course, because I already had that. But even if you didn't have some of the materials, you could still probably make this for around 35 bucks, which is still pretty cool. And this hat is one of my favorite costume accessories I have ever made, because it's so iconic. I love it. But with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you have any ideas for future costumes to make, please leave a comment down below. As for me, I'm going to be making new costumes here on my channel every other week, so make sure to subscribe. I gotta go find Carl and kill some walkers.